Okay, so this is my full review of the LG OLED Evo G3 4K TV. So in this review, we're going to break it down into sections. We're going to be looking at design, WebOS 23, SDR and upscaling, and HDR content, followed by gaming, measurements, audio, and summary. So straight on to design. Now, this is a gallery series TV, and what that means is it comes just with the wall mount. If you do want the stand, you're going to have to spend extra, although you can get third-party stands. The design of this is to get it as close to the wall as possible, so everything including the wall mount and the cables fit snugly in the back, and then the TV can just be pressed right against the wall. And the result of that, my friends, is just a stunning look. The LG OLED Evo G3 really is, in my opinion, designed to be hung on a wall, because it just sits so close to that wall that it just looks absolutely amazing. And I think that you're actually getting a better experience with it being there. So the advantage of just having the wall mount is it looks incredible. Now, the other thing that's different this year is reflection handling. It reflection handles just incredibly well. I'm in this room here, and as you can see, I've got a window opposite there, and I've got huge big doors at the back. Now, every other year in the past where I've tried a OLED TV in this space, the reflections are just horrendous. But this year, LG have nailed it. With the LG G3 Evo OLED, there is not a bad place in the room to sit. The viewing angles on this TV are again amongst the best that I've ever seen. It just doesn't diminish in brightness no matter where you are. From corner to corner, from top to bottom, it looks incredible, consistent, and perfect. When it comes to the operating system, this year LG are using WebOS 23. Now, in my opinion, this is a far more slimmed down than previous versions, and there's some good features like the home cards on the home screen. These are quick cards that you can just select different functions. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't use that many features in a home screen on a TV, mainly just the shortcuts to the apps. But this is easy to access, and it's literally just two buttons, one to bring up the menu and one to then access the app. So it's not a problem at all. There are some other features if you scroll down to the bottom, and this is where you can access some of the preferred material or the suggested material from those apps that you have installed. And here you can see that there's a bar with the app, and then underneath there's the suggested content, and this is quite a good feature and is actually one that is very easy to use. There is also the same access to the Home Hub, which is, if it's something that you use, again, very easy to find, but again, it's not something that I use that often. You have the same quick access to the settings screen. Press the settings button once and you'll get the shorter menu or the quicker menu coming up, and then press it and hold it longer and you'll get the full menu system. And this is where you can go in and change all of your different picture controls and sound controls and look at all of the different options. The one thing that I recommend everybody does is turn off energy saving. This way you'll get the best picture and the most brightest picture all of the time. There is a nice little feature with picture-in-picture as well, which again is something which I don't use too often, but it's nice to have it there in the background. Right, SDR and upscaling. Now, around 95% of the time, you'll be watching something in this type of setting, just normal standard TV. With the Alpha 9 Generation 6 processor this year, the upscaling is incredible. Everything just looks incredibly good. It doesn't matter whether you're just watching adverts or if you're watching something which is maybe older and recorded in a lesser quality format. The picture quality has been upscaled to create the best possible experience. This, in my opinion, means that this for low bitrate content is the best TV around. So this being LG, you do get Dolby Vision, which is a big thing. A lot of people swear by Dolby Vision and they think is excellent, but you also get this year the NLA, which is micro lens array, and that gives you that boost brightness, which in some scenes is just incredible. I just don't know how they make them look so good. Now, I didn't have the G2 last year, but a lot of opinions were that the G2 wasn't that much of a leap forward from the C2, but I do own the C2, and I have to say that this is a massive leap forward. It really is the difference between night and day. Just excellent quality content, whatever you're watching, and HDR and Dolby Vision just looks exceptional on this TV. I watched Caleb's video from Digital Trends about the G3 when he first put it out, and he said that this will be the best gaming TV of the year, and I have to say I tend to agree. It's got absolutely everything that a gamer is going to need. You've still got that game optimizer settings where you can go in and make immediate changes without actually having to leave your content, and you've got so many other features that just support the whole range, and that includes a 0.1 milliseconds response rate, auto low latency mode, variable refresh rate, NVIDIA G-Sync compatibility, AMD FreeSync Premium, and LG SoundSync. Now, all of these things put together means that you're just getting an incredible experience. The response time, I didn't notice that much improvement from last year because last year's was incredible as well. But certainly, if you're a professional gamer, a serious gamer, or just an occasional gamer, you're going to love gaming on this TV. It looks absolutely fantastic. So with that extra boost brightness and that MLA technology, the micro lens array, you are getting higher brightness in the both HDR and SDR than previous versions. We measured it at 1439 in a 10% window at peak brightness and 1411 at a 10% window sustained. That dropped down to 230 if we did a full screen 100% window peak brightness and 221 with it 100% window sustained. Now SDR brightness is also pretty good. We got 631 in a 10% window peak brightness. That dropped down to just 609 in a 10% window sustained, and I got exactly the same results when I did a 100% window, but peak brightness and sustained were both 307. So these are great numbers, and it just shows you that extra bright boostness has had a material effect. Now I found that motion handling on the TVs last year, the C2 that I had, was exceptional. I can't imagine this being any different this year. Certainly in the tests that I ran it seemed almost identical. It certainly is no perceivable difference. But this does support things like true motion and black frame insertion, which will obviously be down to the individual user's preference. But for me, everything worked really well. If you do see any blooming at all, then that's just the camera picking up it on the ISO on the frequency. Certainly there is no blooming at all in reality. I also ran my straight color screen test, and this is where we can check for screen uniformity and any dirty screen or banding. And again, I was pleased to report that I had a completely clean panel and everything looked exactly as it should. And again, this is quite normal and has been normal for the last few years on the OLEDs that I've had. Now I would say the weakest thing about this TV is the one thing that I'll never ever use, and that's the audio. However, I'm not going to ever use it because I've got a Sonos sound system with a soundbar, sub and 2 ears, and that's the way to go with this type of TV. If you are spending this type of money, I think that you would be crazy not to support it with a 5.1, 5.2, 7.1 or 2, or even a soundbar setup like me. That's the way forward, and it sounds incredible. It supports all of the major formats, and so therefore that is definitely the way to go. So my friends, in summary, with the LG OLED Evo G3, you're getting an exceptional TV, and I do think that this is one of those years where this has been a marked step forward. It's got everything from extra brightness with the brightness boost and the MLA technology, the reflection handling is so much better than before, and the upscaling with the Alpha 9 Generation 6 processor is just superb. And I think that it's likely to be one of the best TVs of the year without any doubt.